Welcome to Six Figs. I'm Kyle. In today's video, we're talking about Nervos Network, ecosystem news, and the explosive price action, and what could be driving some of this explosive price action. First order of business, follow Nervos Network at Nervos Network on X. Now, there's an interesting proposal in the pipeline right now that's being voted on. I'll drop a link to this in the description, but if you like this proposal, make sure to come on down and give it a little heart. So we're at 32 hearts right now, and they want to build a community engagement platform. And this is awesome because you get the real community members who want to actively be involved. It might break down that barrier of entry for some of them that don't necessarily have photoshopping skills or the equipment to produce content. They can produce and assist community engagement in other ways. So I think that this is a great thing because the cost is $20,000, and this is a relatively low cost with a potential high return yield. So when you start to think about a platform like this and the potential, it basically empowers the community greatly at a very low cost, in my opinion. So there are all sorts of other things that are going on within Nervos Network, but this is one that I just wanted to kind of highlight for the moment. So give at Nervos Catalyst a follow on X as well. Nervos Nation is also on CoinMarketCap. So if you're not following Nervos Nation on X, hit them up at Nervos Nation. This is the lifeblood of the Nervos Network community, and they've got an epic, awesome Telegram. And so with that said, ask questions. There's like all sorts of people, a lot of the founding people of Nervos Network and a lot of people that work at Nervos Network are in this Telegram channel, and they're super easy to reach. So if you have any questions, like, they're always there. This is a little side project that I'm kind of working on called BlockBank. And this is basically just, it's not ready yet. You guys are getting the sneak peek, but it's a crypto tracking portfolio. But with that said, it's kind of one of these things that's different than like CoinGecko's crypto portfolio tracker, in a way where you can just come on, create an account. We'll just go Nervos, and we'll just create a really quick account just to kind of show you guys what it's all about. So you log in, you can now start tracking your positions. You can track your leverage positions if you've got them out there on exchanges. But the really cool part is about this is that there's these advertisement space, and it allows the community members to basically advertise their projects at a super low cost. And so Nervos Network is one of the tokens that I've integrated the payments into. So you could, get a nice banner ad, promote a token to the top of the list, highlight a token, or you could even get a scrolling ad at the bottom going, which is pretty cool. But this is kind of one of those portfolio tracking applications, and it's aimed to really empower communities to advertise for essentially pennies on the dollar. What's also nice is you can just kind of click on any token that has an ecosystem of tokens behind it, and it will pull up like the top 100 tokens within that token. So Binance Smart Chain lists all these tokens that are on BNB. If you want to go check out what projects are on Tron, boom. Okay, there's obviously a bug there, but like Cardano, boom, we get all these projects that you might not have known about. And then you can just go ahead and add them into your portfolio. So with that said, and of course I've got a little bug here, but this is all being like worked out and things like that. So, it just is what it is. So let's take a peek at Nervos Network. This thing really ripped, man. Oh, man. Oh, man. My phone started blowing up when this thing took off. But, I've been telling you guys, hey, this thing's in a massive falling wedge. And I do think that we're going to see a penny sooner than you think. And I do think that, like, we saw a very similar price action with Nervos Network before. It's this falling wedge, and these falling wedges, guys, produce big moves to the upside, like we've seen here. So I think in the relatively short term, the price action is probably gunning for that penny level. This is a 3-day chart. And you can see when Nervos Network rips, it rips hard. So yeah, it's at this point right now on the 3-day chart. We are moving through this thick Ichimoku cloud, and we are above the 50 moving average. So I'm hoping that we see this penny level and maybe can stabilize at some point to see this thing rip off even more. But we need to get to that point first. So right now we are absolutely maintaining this wonderful price action. And we're seeing like this textbook bull pennant form. Maybe we'll even get a flag out of this. But I'm thinking that within the next few days, we're either going to see some sort of flag or some sort of symmetrical triangle squeeze, or some sort of ABCDE or ABCD corrective wave. And this is the 4-hour chart. And I'm thinking that, we could see a falling wedge or something like that. But I think the price action needs to get a little bit closer to the shoulder of this cloud, still right in these levels at about 0.006-ish, somewhere in there. But it would be nice to see a little bit of a bounce off this 50 moving average, Thursday, Friday, U.S. time. There is an insane opportunity here now too for like this epic cup and handle. And this is a very, very nice looking cup. And you could also make the argument that, hey, there could be an inverse head and shoulders pattern in here as well. But I'll show you guys just in the, meantime, what could be kind of filling out and really building. So we've almost got this textbook cup that's formed here, and it's going to be interesting to see kind of like what the handle will do, if we get one or not. So when it comes down to measuring the impact of a cup and handle, if we do get this, some traders will basically measure from the bottom of the cup up to the top of the cup, and you stack this measurement on the basically the top of the cup. And so this little pattern here could potentially project price up to about a penny and a half, somewhere in that neighborhood. But I do think that bigger moves are possibly coming, and there could be this gigantic inverse head and shoulders pattern that is forming, and it's kind of like right in here. Boom. And we might see this move up to, that penny and a half, and then we could be gearing up for a full send. Of course, this is very speculative, right? So we need to kind of watch out and kind of try to see what's going to happen from here. But like price action down in here, there was almost this very quasi inverse head and shoulders that formed somewhere in here. And you can kind of see what it did to the price action. It just took it to like 4 cents, 3.5 cents. So I do think that right now things are very hopeful for CKB. It's great to see the prices pumping, because healthy charts and tokens that are pumping also attract more attention. So hit me up on X at Real6Fig, and again, I'm going to drop the link for this Nervos Nation on CoinMarketCap, and I'm also going to drop a link to this proposal with the CKB Community Fund DAO. So I love you all, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.